and the grammar of children are taught. But it was so strange. Another one goes, they say, you haven't changed a bit now. People say that to me all the time. And I don't get it because what I see in the mirror ain't what I was 30 years ago. I didn't have a choice. Oh, well, maybe 12 minutes down the road. But yeah, it's just crazy.
The brother's away for 2 weeks and his sister's away for 2 weeks.
afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ipswich Minster. Thank you very much indeed for coming today. Thank you for supporting these concerts. Thank you to all our sponsors for this season's concerts and for your ongoing generosity. Please do put some money in the plate on the way out to help keep these amazing concerts going right through this summer, and there are many more when we get closer to Christmas as well. Can you imagine thinking of Christmas on a day like today? But we are very lucky to have so much music making going on in this building, and thank you very much indeed for your support. If you have an electronic device, a phone, or a watch, or something that would wish to join in with our wonderful concert today, can I ask you to switch it off onto silent or airplane mode? And if you think you've done it, please double check, as I will be as soon as I've finished this little spiel. You will find at the back of church, if you haven't already, all the lovely concerts that are coming up over the next couple of months. There's not only today's programme with the programme of today's music, but there is a list of all the performers right the way throughout the season until the middle of October. We're delighted today to have one of our very own music department members of staff, our singing teacher to the choristers and choral scholars, and indeed to our adults, and indeed to me from time to time. Megan Peel giving our recital today. She's an incredible member of our team and helps behind the scenes, and it's only right that today she should have this stage all to herself. But it wouldn't be a recital without a pianist as well. So can I invite you to put your hands together for our recitals today, Gretel Dowdeswell and Megan Peel. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. This is a fantastic place to be on a hot day. Today I'm bringing together three composers, Fanny Mendelssohn-Hensel, Clara Schumann, and Alma Mahler, whose work was suppressed, overshadowed, or ignored in their lifetimes and for much of the century that followed them. They were contemporaries in spirit against this particular constraint that 19th and early 20th century Europe placed on women of musical ambition. We're starting our program today with Fanny Hensel, as her married name was. She was Felix Mendelssohn's elder sister. She had access to the same great musicians and education that her brother had. However, she was not allowed to publish it. She was not allowed to publish it because of her father, because of society, and because of her brother. So, her brother managed to publish 3 of her songs under his name, and more on that later. But in 1846, when she was married, she defied convention, defied her brother, defied society, and released a collection of her songs as Opus 1 under her married name. At her death, she had almost 460 compositions that were unpublished, which is shocking. Anyway, they've been published now. She became friends with Robert and Clara Schumann, our second woman, and they attended one of her big soirees in Berlin where she would get famous and all the musicians of the world to come and play and to discuss different musical ideas. And Clara said about her, "I have taken a great fancy to Frau Hensel, and her conversation is always interesting. Only one has to accustom oneself to her rather brusque manner." And the feeling was reciprocated, sort of. Frau Schumann comes to me almost every day, and I've grown quite fond of her. So we're going to start with one of these first songs that she had done called Warum sind die Rosen so blass? And it's very romantic, German romantic composition, and you can hear a lot of Felix Mendelssohn in there. In fact, when Gretel and I were preparing this program, she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is just like the piano sonata." And so we don't really know how much they shared their musical ideas, but we do know that she was a completely wonderful composer in her own right. So I hope you enjoy this. The next one is called Nachtwanderer, and it is the #1 song from the 6th leader that I told you about that she published under her married name. So this is the first one that was published. From a later opus, Die Mainacht. A lot of composers set this poem. It's by Holti, and the thing that these composers did with these strophic songs is they would look at the poem in its entirety and pick out the verses that they really liked and set those to music. So sometimes you'll have Die Mainacht with different verses, and sometimes you have 2 of the same verses and 1 of the other verse. So anyway, this has 3 verses, and yeah, let's do it.
Wenn der See
Mendelssohn set. And it's the number 3, Italienne. And this is where Felix got rumbled about publishing under Fanny's name, publishing her songs under his name, because it happened to become Queen Victoria's favorite song. So she said, she complimented Felix. Felix, this is the most wonderful song. I love this song. I love this song. And he had to come clean and say that his sister had written it. So that's how it became clear that she was the power behind the throne, so to speak. Okay, here we go. Italienne.
Schöner und schön, schmutzig der Plan, schweigen die Lüfte, wehen mich an. Fort aus der Prose, Lasten und Mühe, sieh ich zum Lande der Poesie. Goldne die Sonne, blaue die Luft, grüne die Grüne, filzne der Duft. Dort an dem Malsam Schwellen von Saft streut sich der Aloe störrische Kraft. Und am Zypresse blond du braun, nicht wie versierliche grüßende Frauen. Was glänzt im Laube, Fänge wie Gold, ach Pomeranze, bist du dich hold. Trotz Geposaulen warst du dies, der unten schert und murmelt so süß. Und dies halb Weser, halb Erde zu schauen, es war dem Meeres furchtbares Grauen. Hier will ich wohnen, göttlichen Du, bringst du Barthélemy, Wogen zur Ruhe. Nun an die Suche siedende Los, ebnen die Wagen, auf dieser Brust.
Now we get on to Clara Schumann. She was a child prodigy pianist. She toured all over the world. Her father was a very stern and autocratic piano teacher and became the teacher of Brahms as well. And she Brahms? Robert Schumann, her partner. Did I say Brahms? Sorry. That's later. Robert Schumann came to the house when she was about 8 years old and moved in with him and started studying with her father. She was touring and she was very, very famous. She went worldwide, but one of the things that she was incredibly in love with Robert Schumann. And she wrote the next piece, which is Gretel's going to play, the Trois Romans, when she was 24 and she was in Paris and she was missing her husband. And it's Opus 11, so it's before she starts to compose Lieder, which starts in Opus 12 and 13. So we thought it would be nice to line it up in terms of when the works were done. I'm going to sit down somewhere while Gretel plays. So, Clara and Robert were in love and they wanted to get married, but her father was completely against the marriage because she wasn't of age, and in Saxony that was the law. You couldn't get married without your father's permission until you were 21. So Clara and Robert took her father to court, and they had a legal battle for a year, and that was 1839 to 1840. 1840 became known as the Liedesjahr, year of song for Robert Schumann, because he wrote two of the most beautiful song cycles, the Dichterliebe and the Frauenliebe und Lebe, and he was in the zone, so to speak, on his leader writing. It was like his year that he just produced so much output. The court case was settled in August 1840, and in September 1840 they got married. And it was 3 or 4 days before she turned 21. So they managed to win the court case. And Robert initially was very keen on her publishing and being known and being heard. She was a concert pianist, and I mean her compositions and he was encouraging her so much so that they wrote a collection of 12 lieder together and published 3 of her songs, which then became her Opus 12. So those 3 songs that he published together with his other 9, we're going to offer you today. They are ist gekommen. That was nice and American. Ist gekommen. Liebst du Schönheit und warum willst du andere fragen? And they really show the passion that she has for Robert. Okay, I mustn't kick my water.
Ist gekommen, im Sturm und Regen, im Schlug mit Blumen, mein Herz entgegen. Wie kommt ich an, durch seine Bahn? Sie scheinen sollten meinen Wegen. Ist gekommen, im Sturm und Regen, hat genommen, mein Herz zu wegen. Nahm das meine, nahm ich das seine, die beiden kamen sich entgegen. Ist gekommen, im Sturm und Regen, ist gekommen, im Sturm und Regen. Und ist gekommen des Frühlings Segen, der freut sich weiter, ich seh es weiter, denn bleibt meiner vollen Wegen, denn bleibt meiner vollen Wegen. Nun ist gekommen das neue Segen, der Freund sieht weiter, ich seh es weiter, denn bleibt meiner vollen Wegen.
The language of love between Robert and Clara was very much based around Friedrich Rückert, the poet. And this next one is a beautiful song. Liebst du Schönheit. There's a slight typo on the program just to show you it's not AI generated. It says Liebst du Schönheit and it's Schönheit. I apologize. Okay.
Liebst du Schönheit, oh nicht mich liebe, liebe die Sonne, sie trägt ein goldenes Haar. Liebst du Jugend, oh nicht mich liebe, liebe des Frühlings, der jung ist jedes Jahr. Liebst du Schätze, oh nicht mich liebe, liebe die Meerfrau, sie hat für Perlen klar. Liebst du Liebe, oh ja mich liebe, liebst du Liebe, oh ja mich liebe, liebe mich immer, dich liebe ich
And the final love song from Opus 12.
Warum willst du andere fragen, dies nicht meinen Träum mit dir? Glaube nicht, dass was dir sagen, diese beiden Augen hören. Glaube nicht den fremden Leuten, glaube nicht dem eigenen Wahn, nicht mein Tun, auch sollst du deuten, sondern sieh die Augen an. Schweigt die Lippe deinen Fragen, oder säugt sie gegen mich? Was auch meine Lippen sagen, sieh mein Arm, liebe dich. Was auch meine Lippen sagen, sieh mein Arm, ich liebe dich.
So I thought I'd just give you a little taste of Opus 13, which was the next leader song cycle that she created at around about the same time. This was dedicated to the Queen Consort of Denmark, which Clara Schumann dedicated a lot of her songs to different people, a lot of her works to different people. She visited Denmark. She was doing a concert tour there. She had such a great time that she absolutely loved it, and she met Hans Christian Andersen, and she dedicated this song to Caroline Amalie. I don't know the rest of her name. It's got many, many German places in it.
Ich stand in dunklen Träumen und starrte im Bildnis an, und das Geliebte Antlitz heimlich zu leben begann. Und ihre Lippen sah ich ein Lächeln wunderbar, und wie von Wehmutstränen erglänzte ihr Augenpaar. Auch meine Tränen flossen mir von den Wangen herab, und ich kann's nicht glauben, dass ich dich verloren hab.
So her genius was recognized by Robert. However, as their marriage went on, he gradually discouraged her from composing, as women were not suited to composition. But he deeply resented the societal and financial pressures that pitted them against each other, because Clara was a massive earner, because she was touring all the time, trying to support 8 children. And he had so this is bringing Brahms into the picture now. So in 1853, Brahms was introduced to the Schumanns, and they immediately took to him. Immediately. They said it was absolutely fabulous. They wanted to hear all of his compositions, and he became a part of their circle and their group. And he was 20 years old. A few months later, Robert tried to commit suicide by throwing himself into the Rhine. And he failed. He was rescued by some fishermen, but his mental health was declining so rapidly from syphilis and other things, but also because of this kind of relentless pressure that he felt to, perform and outperform her, that he was sectioned in a mental health facility near to their house. Brahms dropped everything, moved into the apartment above their house in Dusseldorf, took care of Clara and all the children for 2 years before Robert's death. And he became the messenger between Robert and Clara, because Clara was forbidden by his doctors to see him because it created too much anxiety, which broke her heart. And she gradually got to see him, I think, the day before he died and the day he died. So Brahms really stepped up. The scholars will tell you that they became lovers or whatever. There's evidence that they became lovers. They were obviously incredibly close, but they were also musical confidants with each other. They had a long-lasting relationship all the way up until Clara's death, of letter writing, of sending each other they're sending each other's music to one another to evaluate and to talk about amongst. So this song is called, it's perfect for today. It's Unbewegte laue Luft, which means nothing is stirring. Nothing is, it's like, it's completely humid and hot and still. And the heavens, yeah? And so it's perfect for today. And I think it shows his passion, and it was written in 1871. And it shows the depth of feeling that Brahms was able to portray. Wait. Sorry, live stream. And the last one is Lunchtime from Clara. And I can't remember what I was supposed to say about that, but. Oh, yes. This is a really cool story behind this song. This was written by Frederica Serra, who is not a very well-known poet, but she was friends with Clara and Robert. After After moving from Leipzig to Dresden, Robert and Clara vacationed with the Serres, who owned a castle in a nearby village called Maxen. Grateful for their support, she wrote 2 songs. It was to Maxen, this is so incredible, that Clara evacuated Robert and their daughter Marie, their first daughter, during the 1849 revolution. Clara then returned across the battle lines to retrieve her other 3 children while she was 7 months pregnant. This woman was amazing. So that's why I picked this song. Of course, I can't find it now. Okay, here we go.
O du mein Stern, schau dich so gern, wenn still im Meere die Sonne sinket, dein goldenes Haus und Lüsten in meiner Nacht. O du mein Stern, aus weiter Fern, bist du ein Bote mit Liebesgrüßen, was deine Strahlen nicht lustig küssen in banger Nacht. O du mein Stern, verweile gern und lächeln für auf dies liebste Feder der Träume dem Freunde wieder in seiner Nacht, in seiner Nacht.
Now, this next section is for Alma Mahler. She said, and I quote, "I believe in the power of music to open what is closed and to close what should never have been opened." And she was well known, remembered for her relationships with great men of her age. Her first kiss was with Gustav Klimt, the artist. Her first marriage was to Gustav Mahler, the composer. She had a raging affair with Oskar Kokoschka, who was an artist as well. Then her second marriage was to Walter Gropius, who started the Bauhaus School of Architecture. And her third marriage was to Franz Werfel, who was a very famous author. He wrote The Story of Bernadette, I think. She was a gifted, gifted composer. She trained under Alexander Zemlinsky. And as a composer, she wrote nearly all of her songs before the age of 21, but they were never published. Same societal things. When she was engaged to be married to Mahler, he required her to give up composing entirely. There's a very infamous letter that he wrote to her saying, "How do you picture a married couple of composers? You have only one profession now, to make me happy." And yet she still married him a few months later. Why? We can only speculate that she preferred the role of muse to a genius rather than being his rival, maybe. At the time that they fell in love during their courtship, he wrote probably one of the most beautiful pieces of music ever. It's the fourth movement of his Fifth Symphony, the Adagietto, which they use in Death in Venice. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that film, but it's very, very famous, and it's incredibly beautiful. So maybe that's what made her marry him in the end. He was absolutely consumed by his work, and famously had a little composing hut where he stayed. And it was on one of those holidays when she met Walter Gropius, because she was bored and lonely and not doing anything. And Mahler found out about the affair through the following way. And it could be a Freudian slip, I don't know. Walter Gropius sent a letter to the Opera House addressed to, a love letter to the Opera House addressed to Herr Director Mahler instead of Frau. So he opened it and read it. So then he was absolutely devastated. He went to Sigmund Freud, and Freud said, she needs to start composing again. You know, you need to let her have her creativity. She really needs to. So he then relented and allowed her to, and he published her 5-liter very nicely in 1910, and she had written 5-liter when she was a teenager. And we're going to do 2 of them for you tonight. Today. Sorry. I'm a little nervous. So, the first one, I want you to find out whether or not you can hear the little theme of Vicar of Dibley in it. And the second one has a wonderful Viennese moment, which I hope that you guys will all enjoy. And she's very, her leader are very, they're very loving. They're longing. She was beautiful. She was surrounded by all these men. She was a teenager. She was in Vienna. She's very witty, supposedly very beautiful, but she did go back and rewrite a lot of that stuff. And she was also just deeply, deeply frustrated because she couldn't compose anything. You know, she couldn't be published or show off, actually. So here we go. The first one is Die Stille Stadt.
Eine Stadt im Tal,
And her diaries that exist that have been republished are all this era right now of when she's writing songs and music. And she's very mercurial. I know that she's a teenager, but she should know better a lot of the times. She's very, very easily offended, and then at times incredibly offensive. She was a massive contradictions, really. She was incredibly anti-Semitic, but she had 2 Jewish husbands and led the escape of her 3rd husband, Franz Werfel, the writer, over the Pyrenees. So there's just no saying which way, she was just a complete contradiction. Anyway, Gretel and I found this Lobgesang, which is the final one of this program. And it was the first song she ever wrote, and it wasn't published until 1924. She was obsessed with Wagner, Siegfried, Tristan was her favorite, and you can hear a little bit, you can hear a little bit of it in her writing. Quote from her diary when she first wrote this song: "Half song, half recitation, half chorale. I seem to have come up with an entirely new art form." When Gretel and I went through it the first time, we were like, what is this? Gretel was like, there's a bar line, and in between the bar line, it's really, really quiet, and then it's fortissimo. So in the bar line, we have to switch gears, but it's wonderful, and it's crazy, and I hope you enjoy it.
Wie das Meer ist die Liebe, wie das Meer ist die Liebe, unerschöpflich, unergründlich,
we have a song by Tom Lehrer, who was a mathematician who turned from a Harvard professor into a singer and songwriter. And he wrote a song about Alma Mahler having read her obituary in 1964. After he saw her obituary in the newspaper, he said, "The juiciest, spiciest, raciest obituary it has ever been my pleasure to read." And so we're going to do a little bit of that for you. Here we go. Oh, I forgot to tell you. In between the verses, he does a little bit of Mahler.
The loveliest girl in Vienna was Alma, the smartest as well. Once you picked her up on your antenna, you'd never be free of her spell. Her lovers were many and varied from the day she began her beguine. There were 3 famous ones whom she married, and God knows how many between. Alma, tell us, all modern women are jealous. Which of your magical wands got you Gustav and Walter and Franz? The first one she married was Mahler, whose buddies all knew him as Gustav, and each time he saw her he'd holler, "Ach, that is the Fräulein I must have." Their marriage, however, was murder. He screamed to the heavens above, "I'm writing das Lied von der Erde, und she only wants to make love." Alma, tell us, all modern women are jealous. You should have a statue in bronze for eyeing Gustav and Walter and Franz. While married to Gus, she met Gropius, and soon she was swinging with Walter. Gus died and her teardrops were copious. She cried all the way to the altar, but he would work late at the Bauhaus and only came home now and then. She said, "What am I running a show house? It's time to change partners again, everybody." Alma, tell us, all modern women are jealous. Though you didn't even use pawns, you got Gustav and Walter and Franz. While married to Walt, she met Werfel, and he too was caught in her net. He married her, but he was careful, 'cause Alma was no Bernadette. And that is the story of Alma, who knew how to receive and to give. The body that reached her in Balma was one that had known how to live. Alma, tell us, how can they help being jealous? Ducks always envy the swans who get Gustav and Walter. You never did falter with Gustav and Walter and Franz.
Megan, Gretel, thank you so very much. It's been an absolutely enchanting hour. And it's been wonderful to hear so many wonderful pieces by composers that we knew about but not well enough, and music that we certainly didn't know well enough. And I, for one, have been really drawn to every single thing. I could have listened to them all again. So thank you very much for bringing that introduction to us. It's been absolutely superb, a wonderful range of programs, so attractive, so beautifully delivered. Thank you both very much indeed. It's been an absolute treat. Thank you. If you can join us next week, there will be an extraordinary array of musical instruments, the likes of which you may not have seen for some time, including the keyed harp, the nyckelharpa from Sweden and Italy, bagpipes, cornu from Italy, the Roman carnix. Some of you will know that great big sort of war instrument that you blow into and it frightens the enemy. What else have we got? So many things, like cow horns, that's another thing, all brought to life by Johnny Dyer and Vicky Swan, two most energetic musicians in music from 1200 to 1900 and some things out and about. So do join us then if you can. If you are able, as you leave, to make a little donation, that would be much appreciated. It's wonderful to have these concerts. They've been running for a very long time. If you can help us to keep them going, every little bit would be very much appreciated. Thank you so much for coming. Do spread the word. And before you go, let's once again thank Megan Peel and Gretel Dowdeswell.